There we go.
There we go.
I want to know her name. She has a really cool voice vibe about her, recording in progress. Anyways, so yes, I want to stress that platform is the YouTube platform is very, very critical when you are looking to for somebody to know, like, and trust you, right? Lynn, you and I have gone over many different ways to utilize YouTube. One of the biggest ways is just to be your authentic self. Don't read stuff. Right, Lynn? I'm not even going to tell you, but Martha's done the same thing.
Yeah, I've done the same thing, so it's okay. We've been there, done that.
I sent him my video the other day, and he's like, Lynn, we need to talk. And I was like, oh, Rustin's mad at me. We need to talk. I think he's divorcing
me.
Oh, I could tell immediately that's not your authentic self. But Lynn, you and I talk very often. I know what your authentic self looks and sounds like.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes I think that, with just these conversations, they should be recorded and then put on YouTube. And then I'm telling you, you're probably going to get a ton of people that are just going to gravitate towards you just because they
I agree with you on that.
love your personalities and stuff. So telling your story, right? That is one of the big ones that I keep coming across. And I was talking to another marketing expert that does things for the construction industry. And she was like, look, she's like, I had this client that just decided that he wanted to just tell his story about his life. And it got over 15,000 views just for him. And he's in construction. He's using his construction channel, which then gravitated into more clients because of that one video. And he wasn't even talking about construction. Right. So, that could be extremely powerful, especially if you have something that invokes emotion. Right. And we'll talk a little bit. And the reason why I really wanted to talk about YouTube, because it is so powerful, because you are on video, you are showing you, right? And it's not just words on, a post. It's not informal. It's not, impersonal. It is in your face. This is that person. And so if you can actually translate that from your story, invoke that emotion, then people will automatically gravitate towards it, right? Those are just the basics of that. There are many tricks, though, that I have found, and that's what I'm going to go through with you guys today, right? Well, yes, that is my face. Open the phone. There you go. Right on. Good job. Good job, Apple. Okay, so I wrote down content quality. I'm not sure how I feel about that just yet, because I don't really believe that it really matters about the quality. Right? I do believe, though, that it does matter about the quality of audio. Okay.
That I would agree with.
Yeah, I've seen some horrible videos.
Yeah, me too.
That the message still comes across, but the audio itself, if it's like garbled and just, misaligned, you guys have seen them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You swipe. No, don't want to do that, because I don't like watching somebody's mouth move and then later on that comes up, right? So quality of audio. So I'm going to show you guys something that I have. And I wanted to do this while we were on camera, so you guys notice the difference. So you guys can hear the reverberation in this room, correct? Right? It's, it's carpeted and all that good stuff, but it is, it does have a size to it. So it has a reverberation that goes on. So when you're taking your videos and stuff, so this little box right here, right, houses my, my son's, he's got a little face on there. That's for his YouTube channel. He actually has a YouTube channel. And this is a microphone, right? And these microphones are really, really cool. And I'm going to show you what it sounds like. I hope it does it on this Zoom, because it'd be really, really awesome if it did. But they're not expensive. I think this one might have been $80 for this set. Can you hear me now?
So much better.
How does that sound? Crystal clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, and no more echo.
Yeah.
Yep.
No more echo.
And you could barely even see it. Sometimes you can't even see it. I have it on the inside of my collar. And so when you're out and you're walking around and you're doing stuff, you know, and you're going on YouTube or Zoom, or you're having a recording of some kind, this will actually also allow you to walk away from your video camera at, you know, hundreds of yards. I think I tested out at like 150 yards. You could still hear me just like I was sitting right next to the phone. Right. So quality of audio is important. Right.
Yeah.
Get yourself something like that. And I mean, they sell them on Zoom and all that stuff. It's called, I'll type it in the chat. Polyland. Oh, well, it's chat. Oh, why does it want to do that? I don't want to do that. The kind of funky. Now they got like pop-ups and stuff.
I think Zoom did an update and it's all different.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, why is there a pop-up here? Why isn't this off on the side or something? Maybe it's a setting also I can do. No, it did not like that. Oh, okay. No, okay. Nope. Apparently, that doesn't go to the side anymore. Okay, so I put it in the chat. So we'll move on from that. I'm sure you guys understand the importance of the audio. Keyword optimization. So this is a very big one because once YouTube was bought out by Google, they use the exact same stuff that Google does in order to the SEO content that they look to crawl your website with to rank you. Okay. So once that happened, it was very important that whenever you were doing something in your YouTube channel, whether it be your channel itself or the video, you must do some keyword searching, right? So Lynn, you and I talked extensively about this. Martha, so what we do is we go into the search bar. I think you and I might have even talked about this a little bit. Go into the search bar and search what a pain point is for your client. If it's going to be a, you know, how to get unstuck from my burnout, right? From my corporate burnout, whatever it is. And then you'll have a bunch of things that drop down from there. Those are actual all keyword searches that people have already done and are doing currently. The first 6 are actually the current ones, right? Which they usually don't put it up there unless there are thousands of people that do that. Okay. So those are really important when you go to make your title, or if you're going to make your YouTube channel about a specific thing, about how to help somebody, you know, with corporate burnout or whatever it is, right? Or to how to empower women, then those right there, you could take those exact same keywords and start plugging them in to your YouTube channel and to your videos, right? So you and I talked about Taja AI. I use Taja AI. My wife used Taja AI. Lynn, and I have talked about it. They will actually give you an entire thing of all of the ones that are optimized at that time for what the searches are going according to the script that you have in your in the video itself, because it actually does take your script, right? Even though you don't see it, it has a script behind the scenes. So with that, you can start plugging that in, and that will actually get you, huh?
We lost you there.
Oh, you did? What was the last thing you heard?
The optimization, and then kind of cut out that last part.
Okay.
Like you talked about Taja, and then we lost you for a bit. Yeah.
So Taja will give you the exact ones that are being used right now. right? That will give you the titles. It will give you the chapters with the titles of the chapters. That is very important when you're making the video, because now you have multiple titles that can be searched in one video. If you don't put the chapters in, then you only have one title that is being searched for, regardless of what you put in that description.
So
Okay.
if we were to do a 20-minute video,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You would have a different title for every chapter, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Every chapter would have a different title. So when you could actually do the chapters manually,
Mhm.
if you go down into the description and you type
Yep.
in 00:00 dash
Mhm.
and then another number 00:16, it automatically makes a chapter for you.
Okay.
Automatically. And it will actually cut your video. And I know you guys have seen it in the YouTube channel where you'll have like those little segments in the actual video. Those are the chapters, right? Taj AI does it automatically. So all you got to do is like copy and paste it, right? But you
Okay.
could do it manually.
Yep.
But each one of those becomes a title that can be searched. So even though they're not searching for your exact title for the video, if any of those keywords in those other titles are being used in their search, it will automatically put you in front of them. Yeah, you in front of them. So it's a very powerful tool to use. Okay, remember chapters. In your description, you have a couple of different ways to do it, to optimize how people are searching for you and looking for you. So in the description of a specific video, you're going to have two parts. And I suggest that you add the second part to the default, because there is a default section that every time that you upload a video, it will automatically upload that piece of the video to it, or that piece of the description to the description. And that is the selling portion. Okay. YouTube understands that you are there for a reason, especially if you have a business of some kind, right? Make sure, do the links, Lynn. Remember we had that whole, yeah, they want you to do your face and they want you to, do all this stuff, right? Before they will allow you to use the links, but they want to make sure that you are you and that you are a business and that you are 100% going to actually be doing something with their platform that is selling.
Yep.
Right? They just want to make sure. So once they make sure, then you're allowed to use those links and it will actually optimize a little bit better. You will actually be placed in front of people that don't have links that may have the same titles. Right? When I was doing a bunch of research, I was like, oh, okay, so the links are important, right? That's the selling portion. The first portion of that description, it must, I'm talking it must in some way, shape, or form align with the content that is in your video. It must. If it does not, then the Google algorithm that is used for YouTube will basically say, this is not right, and we're not going to let anybody see it. Because if you type in there, motocross amazing crashes, and then it's you talking on the video, they already have a script for you because the video automatically comes with words in the background. So when it gets uploaded, they know what's in your video. So it's important to align those two things. Even it doesn't have to be verbatim. As a matter of fact, Taj AI doesn't have verbatim stuff, but it does invoke some kind of emotion of some kind, and just in using very powerful words, but also using those keywords that we talked about, right? During the keyword search, right? Empowering woman, right? Or specific keywords that you actually have identified as being some of the things that people are actually searching for. That is important to do, because that Google algorithm, it wants to know that everything is aligned. That's all it's there for. It's to make sure that everything is aligned, just like they do when they crawl your website. They look at a picture and then they go, the alternate text on this picture says it is a classroom. And then inside of your SEO content, it talks about classrooms. Right? So then it automatically says, ooh, they're aligned. Let's rank them a little higher. That's 2 points. Right? And so on and so forth. That's actually how SEO works. If you guys didn't know that, we'll get into. I actually have an expert on SEO, and I'm talking to her on when we could actually do one of these Friday Live Day events, so that she could actually come on and tell you how to actually SEO optimize your email content and your website content, and a couple other things. She's got a. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's like 50 different types of SEO marketing. I had no idea.
I had no idea that either. Wow.
She does like 10 of them. And I was like, what do you mean 10? I just said SEO. And she goes, yeah, but there's SEO ad content, there's SEO this and this. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, she's very good. I'm working with her on that. All right. Yes, that's my face again. Apple. Okay. Any questions on keyword optimization in the description? And I just fell on the floor.
So
Nice
sorry.
shoes.
Did you
Nice
guys
shoes.
get a headache?
Any questions on keyword optimization in the YouTube? No? I want one. I want that penguin.
He wants the penguin.
Not any penguin. I want that penguin.
He wants this penguin. It's so cute.
It is.
Yeah, she needs help. I have to help navigate. So
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's fine. Thumbnails. You don't know how important a thumbnail is until you realize how important a thumbnail is. Okay? When you are going through other people's stuff, you notice that if it's just one person sitting there like this, and that is the picture, you're probably not going to stop and think that that person is 100% credible. I don't know 100% the psychology behind it, but in the research that I've done, over the top, and I'm talking over the top, just ridiculous looking thumbnails win. They do. People that are, pointing at stuff with like an explosion in the background and like, I don't know, a dog urinating on a tree in the same picture, and them talking about, women's empowerment. I guarantee you'll probably get way more people to stop and look at it than you would if it was just you just with your hand up saying hi. Right? So get into Canva if you can. Canva actually has amazing ones. They're really good. I couldn't believe how good they are. And if you use an iPhone, you could actually just take a selfie picture of yourself and tap on the picture, and it will cut you out of the picture. And then you could actually just upload that into your Canva here, and then you could start doing it on your computer if you want to, or even on your phone, and just place it in there. Mess with the words, and you're done. You can see some of mine. Taja AI actually, they'll make you thumbnails as well. Some of them are great. Others are, I don't want to say absolutely horrible. Oh, somebody's dying in the background. Can you guys hear that? No? Okay, good. Okay, see, microphone does really well. So those thumbnails, be careful. And I'm gonna say this, now I know you ladies are very, very professional. So if you really go way over the top, you could start getting into a different demographic of individual that is being attracted to you organically. So you're gonna have to find a happy balance there, right? Like if you like soft, do your best to make it aligned brand wise, right? You have a beautiful one, Martha. The fallopian tubes are amazing. Use that in like your
No.
background.
It's an angel. We need
I
to work
know it
on
is. I had to
that.
mess with you a little bit.
We
You got to
we
keep it
need to
fun.
work on that. I think I'm changing my name.
Yes. Well, to be fair, I can see it only because it looks like a belly button,
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
right? There's a little belly
Yeah.
button there. And I was like, oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah. What's the head of the angel?
I understand.
But yeah.
Yeah. Keep it aligned with your branding
Yeah.
colors if you can, something in
Yeah.
the background, your, a watermark of some kind, right? Or, something with your logo up in the corners or something like that. Do something like that so that people understand what it is, right? I'm kind of a goofy guy, so I pretty much go over the top and I don't really care. The way I look at it is, I'm impacting lives anyway, so no matter who it is that comes into my space, once they see what's going on, they'll understand. So, any questions on thumbnails? Don't use a stock thumbnail from your video unless you have like an amazing, well, just don't do it. Don't use the same one over and over.
What do you mean? Like if it's a video of us, we
Mhm.
shouldn't use our face for it. We
You
should use
can,
something
just
else.
maybe not just a snippet of the video itself.
Okay.
You're gonna want to make something in the background that is somewhat enticing of some kind, right? Whether it's
Okay.
a scene of like a beautiful background, or it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
even have to be your face. It can be some of the ones that I made for Lynn were of somebody that was like, what was it? What was day two? It was a woman that had a book, and the butterflies were coming out of the book, and it just said, "Rewrite your own story."
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's but people understand what it is as soon as they see it, and it's still aligned with her brain because the colors were all the same.
Yeah. My stuff is colorful.
Yes, yes. So and it's easy to do your branding because it's like a bunch of feminine colors that all meld together and it looks amazing. So, any other questions on thumbnails? Okay. Uploading. I hear this a lot. And this is the question I get quite often. How often should I upload? Whenever the heck you want. I'm gonna
As
be
often as you
serious.
want.
The algorithm loves consistency, but
Mhm.
how you do your consistency is entirely up to you. Right? One thing that I implore you to do is do not be in your human when you do them. Martha, you may not do you know what I mean when I say be in your human?
I think so. I'm still thinking about it.
If you're not grounded, you're not feeling excited about doing the video,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. If
right?
you're
If you're
not
thinking about
being
1,000 other
authentic.
things, yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're
Yeah.
ready to throw up when you go on video, or any of those other
Yes.
things, if you're not aligned with this video, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Everybody will feel it. Every single person that watches that video will feel it, and then you will notice
Yeah,
that
I agree. No, you're good.
normally your videos might go like this, and that one video that you don't do will go,
Yeah.
because now the algorithm goes, this person is out of whack. We are not putting that in front of people. Right? Even though you're probably getting some good engagement because of your optimization with your keywords, the engagement rate is not good. They're only going to watch like 10 seconds of a 20-minute video. They won't start putting it in front of people. When people start watching half or more of the video, they really start pushing that video. Okay.
Yeah.
There. So when you're looking at your YouTube channel and you're looking at the engagement rate, how long people watch it for, pay attention to that. Because that will actually give you a clue as to where to start putting in some of the they call them catch hooks. right? Some of those things that, you know, grab people's attention, right? Can really start to invoke an inspired action or a powerful emotional response, right? That's the time to do it. For the most part, the first 5 seconds is key. Can't grab one in the first 5 seconds, usually not going to stay, right? But thumbnail will bring them in. First 5 seconds will capture their attention. And then the rest of that is up to you to invoke that powerful emotional response, right? And at the end, then it should be an inspired call to action of some kind, right? Now, if you start getting hundreds of thousands of viewers, you actually have the option to put in your own ads into your videos. And they will actually ask you to do that. And you can generate extra money on top of that as well. Where was I? I got off topic here. Oh yeah, uploads. Okay. So for the most part, I would say at the absolute least once a month. But if you're going to do that, make sure that all the things that we talk about here today are aligned and that you have a longer video giving a massive amount of value. Okay. Always there's going to be 3 things that I don't want to say should. I don't want to shit on anybody. I would say 3 things, in my opinion, are the most important things to do. Authenticity, right? Value, and sell. Those 3 things right there in every single one of your video, you will start to see more people coming into your space just off the YouTube videos. Okay. Playlists. That's once you have a following, once you actually have like a larger following, playlists themselves will come into play. And you could do that through your own stuff or through other people's stuff as well. Like if you like Joe Dispenza or, you know, Kathleen Cameron, for instance, or, you know, another person that really sends a message home, don't be afraid to put them into one of your playlists to give that added value. And then you could say, you know, like, hey, check out some of my playlists. You know, there's some really good content in there that can help you with your life as well, right? And then that, you know, that actually shows YouTube that you are a community player, I think is what they call it, right? Where you're actually showing kind of like backlinks to other people's very credited stuff so that, you know, you can make an impact. So that can be a useful tool. Like I said, it's more so later on once you have, you know, I think it's like it really doesn't take effect until, I mean, you can start doing it now, but you really won't see a difference until I think it's like over 1,000 subscribers or something like that. Did you guys lose me there for a second? I know my internet's getting wonky. No? Okay. Any questions on playlists? No. Okay. Engagement strategy, also important. Because they use the Google algorithm, they want to see that if anybody comments on your stuff, you are commenting back. Right? Just like if you were to do a Google review and somebody was to review you, you would want to probably say something back to them, thanking them very much for their kind words. Right? So it's important that you do the same thing with those comments. I highly suggest that you have somebody doing that for you. Okay. I'm not 100% sure just yet. I'm looking into it still because you use high level, Lynn. Martha, I know you were looking into it. I actually asked the high level, I call him the high level priest because he's the guy that oversees like all of the affiliate and everything else, and he takes all the questions. So I asked him, I said, are we gonna come out with a YouTube integration so that we could actually start taking some of these direct messages and comments and actually be able to get back to them in a timely manner. He said, we're working on something like that. Stay tuned for an update. But it could be a month down the line or 2 months down the line. So right now it's I don't know of a system 100% just yet that is automatic to do that. But I'm sure that probably come up with something. But I suggest that you put the notifications on your phone so that if somebody does do it, you could just get, something quick back to them. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, right? Always be selling, okay? Okay. Any questions on comments, any of that stuff? Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yes. Important to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. If you guys can mention that on your video, that's also very powerful, especially at the end. And I'm about to get into end cards right now, end screens and cards. I don't know if you guys have messed around with them very much. They could be an extremely powerful tool to keep somebody in a revolving door of your content, right? Because you, at the end, as you start to upload more videos, at the end of the video, it'll actually say, do you want to add a content card? And at the end of that video, you could do a few different options. I always do the subscribe button. At the end of my videos, it will always pop up at like the last 8 or 10 seconds. And then I do one of my other videos or another video that I think would be highly beneficial to them. And I put that there as well. It's just a link, and it will actually give you an option if you have a bunch of videos to put one of those videos in there as well. So if this video is like part 1, right? And then later on you have part 2, you can link them to part 2. Or if they only catch part 2, then you could link them to part 1, right? Like Lynn, you have a masterclass that's on there. You could link day 2 to day 1 and day 1 to day 2, right? So that will keep them in that revolving door of your content. And what this does for YouTube is it says, this person really likes this person's content. Every time that they upload this or something like this, even if they don't subscribe, we're going to put it in front of them anyways. So it can be very powerful. Okay. Then also your engagement rate goes way up, your views go way up, and then the algorithm goes, keep throwing this at people that are like this demographic. And then it just snowballs from there. All right. Any questions?
Is it a way to narrow down your demographic if you're not sure it can help you or no?
That is only done through analytics, and you can do analytics one of 2 ways. You can do analytics through just massive amount of content data. So, and then you can pick out the demographic, like the age range and, male, female, specific things if you're not running an ad. Once you run an ad, though, you will get a massive amount of data points, right? You'll get where it is that they shop at. You're going to get things like other people that they've also engaged with, whether it be like Louise Hay or, The Secret or things like that, right? You're going to get things that are interest of theirs in that data. So if you continue, if you really want to get down into it, I tell people all the time, if you run a 1 week $50 ad, right? We'll just say it's, $10 a day for 5 days. And for $50, you're going to get a ton of data. And you could use that data for later on if you wanted to run a different ad, or if you wanted to say, okay, well, these people right here are really interested in this. Let me see what the keywords are that they're using. And then you could use those to find out those keywords and then be able to add that into your content, which then also puts it in front of them later on as well as they start to actually look for those things. Right. So there's a couple different ways to do it. That they do have other platforms out there. And don't remember the name 100%. Analyze it or something like that. That's one.
Yeah, I think there's several that you
Yeah, and
can pay
they'll
for.
actually do a demographic search for you if you give them like a small amount of data. They'll actually start searching, like, okay, this person actually was a customer of mine, and you give them, their name or whatever. They'll do a complete profile on them, and then they will actually come back with a ton of data, and you could use that. But again, that's also another pay to play system, right? Doing it where you don't have to pay, you just have to do a massive amount of content in order to create that data. And even that data is limited just because they want you to run an ad. They really do. And so they keep that stuff away from you, right? Because they also want the data too. And then they're just going to share it with you once you run an ad, basically. Although they probably have more data than I think anybody could ever imagine on people. Okay, anything else on end screens and cards? No? Okay. Da, 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 da. I did put this in here only because, so collaborations. Do your freaking research before you collaborate with anyone. I will say that right now. I know it probably seems like common sense, but you would be surprised. Right? Don't collaborate with like Nike. I mean, you can if you want some huge like company, you totally can. If it was me, I'd be going after like Tony Robbins. Right? I want pictures with him. Right? And then if, there's like a woman's empowerment movement, I'd want to be like, hey, can you just put my link up there? Let's throw out a, hey, Martha, hey, Lynn. Love the work you guys are doing, right? And then that's it. But again, please do your research on it. Make sure that if you are going to do a collaboration, that it is beneficial to both of you. Okay? Not just to you. Because you don't want that other person to be like, they could be amazing. Like you two could probably collaborate on many things, right? You just got to make sure that it works for both of you, right? Because, you don't want to be going after the same exact market, but you might be talking to somebody else, a different type of demographic. And Martha, you'd be talking to a totally different type of demographic. But if you come across somebody that might have that, you can put that link in there and just be like, hey, I have this person that is amazing for exactly what it is that you're looking for. You and I may not fit, but I know somebody. Right? Any questions on collaborations?
No, I love being able to do that, passing on to other people, because I think there's enough people for all of us to thrive. So
there's an abundance.
Yeah.
An abundance.
Exactly.
Fully agree with you on that.
Yes.
Because we're our demographic might be slightly different, right? And the offerings are obviously different, but it's like Elizabeth, right? Elizabeth is very, very specific, right? And she said, I have clients that would like benefit from what you're offering, right? So it's like that type of stuff, right? If what she's offering, but then then the road travels both ways. If I come across what I think would be her services would benefit, I would do the same for her.
Yeah, and she also works with a lot of celebrities too, so that could be one of those type of collaborations that could benefit both of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the big things, and I will say this, if you're going to do like what are they called? Content collaborators. You know what I'm talking about? Like they have like 50 million people.
Yeah.
You know what
They're
I'm talking
like
about? Just make
influencer.
sure that
They're an
their
influencer.
demographics are anywhere close to the
Mhm.
people that you are actually looking to service, please. They because they will target you as being their demographic to try to solicit their services, right? Because they want that income to come in as well. So just be sure that they're not talking to 18 to 25-year-old partiers all the time, and they don't give a crap about what you're selling, right? Or what you're offering them to be able to change their life, because they don't want to change their life because they're bulletproof still. Okay, so it's just a heads up on that. I am going to talk now about the trailer. Okay, so whether it be in the beginning or the end, you're gonna have an intro and an outro, right? These trailers themselves can make or break your content view, content engagement rate. Okay, so aligned with your brand. I love if you're going to use, like, if you're super chill, like your brand is super chill, don't use dance party music. Don't do it. I don't know why people do. Please don't. Lynn, you and I know a woman who uses dance party music. It is very effective for her brand. It is amazing. Because if you're a millionaire, you're probably going to dance parties, right? So please. The other part of that is, if you can get it professionally done, get it professionally done. Okay. For two reasons. One, the graphics are going to be very, very smooth, right? I've noticed that even the ones that I have done through Canva, some are good, some are garbage. It kind of skips a little in there. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Right? So if you can get them done very well, especially if they have like, if you have like those pictures of transformation, right? Or of people that have transformed, or you know, doing the transformative type of stuff, use those pictures in that video.
So are you
Okay.
talking about a video that would be on your website?
So I'm
Or
talking
like,
about the very beginning. So
are we still talking about
YouTube.
YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So your intro video itself. So when you make a video now, there's many different editing softwares out there, and I'll talk a little bit about editing softwares here at the end, right? Taja is not really editing software. Taja just kind of is more of a YouTube optimization system that enables you to be able to have all those tools and be able to post stuff about it leading back to your YouTube,
Yeah.
right? It gives you all the clips and all the shorts and all the different tags and stuff like that. And I'll get into tags here in a second. And that is, it's great and everything, but like, you have Clipchamp, you have CapCut, you have even Canva does that stuff as well. Professional softwares. Does anybody know how much a professional video editing software costs? Lynn, you might. It's freaking expensive, man.
It's a
It
lot of
is
money.
expensive. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
we've looked into it for Danny's photography, and it's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it yourself, awesome. Just be aware of a few things. When you put the stuff together, make sure that you watch it probably 10 different times. If you can watch it from your desktop, awesome. Then watch it from your phone so you know that it's optimized, right? Once you upload it into YouTube, you have the option to unlist it or keep it private. I usually put it as unlisted first, and then I watch the crap out of it. And I make sure everything works really, really well with my intro and my outro, the sound matches, all that stuff. I don't really want to get into video editing too much because there is a lot of stuff to go into video editing. I personally don't usually edit my own videos. I pass them off to somebody because that's not my zone of genius. And it takes me forever to do it. So, I mean, I do a little bit every now and again, but doing that first part, you could just get something out there if you really want to. Just make sure that it's not super choppy and that it aligns with your brand, and people will gravitate towards it if you can if they know what it's about, right? Don't do something that is completely off brand of what it is that you're doing. That, it could be on brand. It could have your logo and stuff like that. But if it's not saying in there somewhere, like, what the title of that video is, or, who you are and what you do of some kind, they don't understand that. Usually they don't really want to watch the rest of it, right? It's kind of the same thing with your title, right? You want the title and everything to kind of match up so that everybody kind of knows what it is that you're doing before they even click on your video, right? This part is to align with that so that once they do click on the video, they are assured that this is what it's about. Okay. And it could help them stay engaged with it, because if you have something that's, nice and it's sexy looking and it works really well and it's got good music to it, and they come to start to trust you because now it's a touch point. So if you use the same music every single time, and that was the other thing I was going to say, don't use different music in your intros and outros. Use the same music every single time. It is the same thing as if when you see Coca-Cola, it looks the same over the last freaking 100 years. There's a reason for that. It's to build that strong brand trust. So when they hear that music, they automatically know, hey, it's Martha. I know she's coming on, and this is her channel. Somebody else in the other room, I know what they're watching.
Yeah.
I could hear it from their phone.
I do that with my podcast because we just do one intro, one outro. But I didn't realize we should do that for videos too.
So podcasts is a little different than video. So in the podcast, you're going to add a lot of detail in that intro, right?
Mm-hmm.
The video, you could actually do the same thing. You could do a video podcast with a different intro for just the video that has the music and it has the visuals and things like that. And then in your audio podcast, you're going to do one that tells the story of what it is that the podcast is about.
Okay.
Right?
But I didn't realize you do that for regular videos too.
Yep. 100%. So that keeps people on brand. So they understand every time that they click on you, this is you. They hear that music automatically. I know when Amber is looking at a specific individual. My wife, I know when she is. I could hear the music and then I go, oh, you're watching Tony Robbins. Because he has the same thing in almost all of his videos right at the very beginning.
I realize that. I have to pay attention.
Yes. Well, I get paid to pay attention to that stuff, but that's
me.
But yes, it is important. It's just like another touch point, and build that trust with somebody that, hey, they're going to be around. I know that they are what they say they are, and I like the music. There's some that I actually dance to. I don't care what anybody says.
Nice. Lynn wasn't kidding. This traffic is insane. We've literally been like bumper to bumper since we've been talking. I don't
20
know
miles
how
an hour?
anyone. Yeah, literally.
It sounds a lot like California.
This is crazy.
Do you guys have a timeline that when you're supposed to be somewhere?
Oh yeah, she was supposed to be at the training at 5 o'clock. We left at 11 o'clock this morning because it was only supposed to take us 4 hours.
Wow, it is now 5:13 over there.
Yes.
Awesome. Good thing you guys
She's
are
stressing out a little.
Where are you on the highway?
We just got off Lakeshore.
Lakeshore, QEW Lakeshore, I'm assuming,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
Gardner Expressway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're,
And now it's here. I'll show you. How do I turn me around? This changed. Okay.
Oh yeah.
oh yes, that's lovely. Yes.
Gridlocked.
That's Friday afternoon Lakeshore traffic.
Oh
Absolutely.
my gosh. She's like ready to do yoga here. She's
And right
like
now you're just going
freaking
to the
out.
hotel. Do you have training at the hotel or do you have training
No,
today
it's
at
in
York?
York. It's
Oh
in
my
York.
God,
She
you're
had to
like
still
nowhere near
go.
there right now.
No,
Oh,
Hmm.
I know. I know. But
Sorry.
yeah, it's fine.
That
It's
super
fine.
sucks.
It's everything is fine.
It's all working out for me.
exactly.
Yes, there's a reason for it.
Yeah. You never know. By the time you get there, you might be upgraded to luxury status hotel room and become a keynote speaker all in one time.
Yes, yes, it could be.
Yeah. So, how long did it say it was going to take you originally?
4 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 5:14 now. Well, no, 6, because we left at 11 this morning.
Yeah, it's 6. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm good. No thanks.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Mm-mm.
Toronto.
Mm-mm.
He
That's
said,
all I gotta
"Welcome
say.
to Toronto."
Y'all need to come down to
That's why
Mississippi.
I live on the outskirts. Actually, so
Yeah,
he lives in
I
Mississippi. I live in
imagine.
Mississauga.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
You actually passed my city on your way
Yeah.
into Toronto.
Okay. We'll wave at you on the way out.
Yeah.
On the way back.
Yeah.
No traffic going the other way, right?
No,
Uh,
there was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Both ways.
It depends. When
Yeah.
are you going home? Sunday?
No, we're waiting till Tuesday morning.
Oh, so and don't leave in rush hour traffic either.
Okay, so what time should we leave?
I would probably say 10 a.m.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
He
Wait
said
till
don't leave before
yeah.
10 on Tuesday. Yeah. 'Cause it'll be the same.
And it's just you'll end up with like the rush hour traffic of the morning, right? Like during the
Mhm.
week.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
won't take you as long to get out though. Like once you kind of start heading that way, you'll be fine. Like if you leave around 10, you should be good. You'll have missed
Okay.
most of it.
Sounds
I'm gonna cut you
good.
guys off now. You know we're
Yeah,
recording,
sorry.
right?
You're
Just making
recording
sure.
and we're
Sorry.
talking about traffic in Toronto.
I'm cutting this part off because I already know
Okay.
Taja
Oh,
Oh,
he's
we
cutting this
lost
part off.
AI
him.
is going to
We
pick up
lost
on the
him.
traffic and it's going to optimize my. It's gonna
No,
go.
you
Don't
completely,
go
as
into
soon as you
Toronto
said
at this
cut
time.
off, it cuts you off.
It
Seriously.
does.
Wow.
It does.
I
That's
was gonna say
crazy.
Taja is gonna pick up on the traffic talk and it's gonna make me a short that says don't go into Toronto at this time to this time. And it's gonna
Yes.
make a whole video over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um
All right. I should probably go so I can help her navigate because we're getting closer. But
Gotcha.
thank you for the time. And will I be able to get this recording?
Yep.
This was
Yep.
really good. I want to listen to it again.
Yep. Not a problem. I got a few more points in there, but no worries.
Okay.
Go ahead and hop off if you need to.
Okay. Thanks so much, Rustin. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Nice to meet you, Lynn.
Nice meeting you too, Martha.
Bye,
All
Martha.
right. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
All right. So, oh my goodness. This darn thing in my face. It's like in love
So
with
you
my
have
face.
more to talk about?
Yeah, so two more things that I really wanted to stress.
Yep.
One was the tags. So the tags technically don't do a ton of stuff. All it does is just like if somebody were to mistype something, it will help them out and say, "Oh, this is probably what you were looking for." But it is still powerful because people do mistype and they misspell certain things. And if you have a ton of tags in there that can help them out, you're going to get more people that are going to find you rather than not because they mistyped it, right? That's really all I wanted to say about the tags.
And it's
Um,
hashtags, right? Like you just
no,
put a
so the hashtags themselves. So okay, let me back up. So
so
yeah, so
okay,
the
so they're two
tags, they
different
have
things.
tags, and then you have
Yeah.
hashtags.
Okay.
So hashtags, so what I was just talking about was tags. Those
Yes.
usually go down at the very bottom when you upload your video. They're usually at the very, very bottom. And Taja will actually give you a bunch of tags
Yeah. Okay.
outside of the hashtags, right?
Okay.
And that's where you put those. The hashtags themselves um, are important because a lot of people do search for hashtag something, right? Or they're watching a video that has a specific hashtag in it, right? It can be extremely important in shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm not really 100% sure as to why it's so important in shorts and not as
Not long.
detrimental in the videos. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I have thousands of views on shorts, and I have 50 or 100 views on the same thing on going the other way on video, but they have the same hashtags. But so those hashtags, you could actually trick the system by putting in a very popular power tag, right? Say the election is coming up.
Hmm.
You put hashtag election in your description. Ooh-wee.
Right.
May not get a bunch of people that watch it for long.
Yeah.
You might, but you'll definitely start to get awareness from other people.
Yeah.
They'll start to see you. That's another touch point. You start impacting millions of lives just with the rise in spirit, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
why not? Right? Power tags, some people call it lying. I can
It's a
guarantee
power
you that
tag.
I can guarantee you that if you look at anybody who is influential, we'll just
Yeah.
take for instance Kathleen.
Yep.
I can guarantee you that she has something that has nothing to do with her.
I'm curious.
I can almost
Now I'm gonna go
guarantee that
check.
she'll
Now I'm gonna
probably
go
have
check.
something
I'm gonna want to see.
like Kardashians or basketball players or people that have millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you that that's what she's doing because power tags are very, very important when you're looking to build up a large following.
Yeah.
Um, analytics. I want to talk a little bit about analytics. A lot of people get lost in the weeds in this one. I kind of went over some of them already.
Yeah.
Watch rate, how long people are watching on your video. Make sure you're paying attention to that because then you can craft other videos to kind of break that up, and you'll actually start to notice that people are watching past we'll just say 8 seconds is like your average watch time.
Yeah.
And then you put something at that 8 second mark that is like, you just over the top, or you have something that, your intro goes 10 seconds long and then you have, a catchy hook right there. Right.
Yeah.
And
I
then
was
you
gonna say
start,
something that hooks them.
yep. And then you start in there. You'll notice that your engagement, watch time gets longer and longer. And you can play around with that a little bit too. And also different titles. Just change one of the keywords in there. Do a little bit of a search, and you'll notice that they'll come up with those other ones that are in there. Just change one of those keywords in that title,
Okay.
and then watch it for a week and see if you start to get more of a following. Put an extra hashtag, put a couple of power tags in there, right? And then watch and see what happens after a week.
Okay.
Right? Little stuff like that.
Okay.
The analytics, there's a ton of different analytics. You can start to pay attention to who you are talking to, like the demographic. It'll actually show you in the analytics, male, female, 18 to 25, 25 to 40, 40 to 65. It'll actually tell you and where they're from.
Interesting.
And so if you know that, then you could start to say, okay, I notice a lot of people, females from the age of 25 to 30 are really gravitating towards me. Let's find out what 25 to 30-year-olds are doing right now.
So does that work the same for ads?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But to be fair, you're going to get a whole lot more data.
On
You
the
run
ads.
you run one ad for a week, you're going to have data overload, brain meltdown,
I would love that.
because
Thanks.
it shows every click, every who clicked on it, what the click-through rate was, how long they watched it for, did they hover over something with their
And the demographic that watched it the longest, right?
Yep. Who they were, what
Yeah,
age group they were in, where they
yeah,
were at,
yeah.
where did they come from, is a big one. Like, it might say from a Google search.
Oh, where they came from that perspective. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Came from a Google search, came from YouTube, right? An organic search came from another YouTube, um,
Like the
what do you
list
call it?
on the side,
Yep,
right?
one of the lists on the side, that I forget what that's called, the upscreen bar or something bar. I forget what it is, but
Hmm.
there'll be that one. There will also be organic search, or where they type in how to blah blah blah, and then you come up and they click on it. There will also be where they actually feature you in somebody's card, their end card, because it will say, have an option at the end of your video to put in a optimized for optimized for viewer.
Hmm.
It's not one of yours. It's one that Google or YouTube says this person will probably watch this,
Yeah.
and it will put you there, and it will actually take that information and go, "Ooh, yeah."
Huh.
So there's a
That's cool.
ton of information. I mean, click through rate's a big one. How often they hung around it. Did they scroll past it? Did they see it once? Did they see it twice? Did they see it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times? It tracks everything about them on the ad. So that data is invaluable, right? And for $50, telling you, it's 100% worth it if you could do it, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it for a month, you're already gonna get that for a week.
Of course.
And then
Yeah.
what you do from there, once you want, and you and I can talk about that later. Once you run an ad for that week, then you optimize that ad
Yeah.
with that data.
Okay.
And you start to tweak little things like, did they like pink instead of purple? You change one color, and I can guarantee you will squeeze another 100 people out of it.
Right. Catches people's attention differently.
Exactly, and specific people's attention, right?
Yep.
So, and also that works with ad fatigue as well on YouTube, really well. So
Right.
if you run an ad for, say, 60 days, and you want to refresh it, change the background color, and you're going to notice it go whoop right back up.
Yeah. Hmm.
So,
Okay.
all right, any questions about the YouTube stuff? I know I went through a lot. Some of it you already knew. Other stuff I know I
Yes,
haven't
some
gone
other
over
stuff
yet.
I've I took a ton of notes. So
Awesome.
um
Well, I'll be sending out the
thank you.
the what's it
Replay.
called? Replay. I almost said rerun, because I was watching Bob Proctor, and he uses the word rerun a bunch of times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Huh.
goes, "Where's this gonna go? Where's this rerun gonna go?" And he's like, talking to the people behind the camera. Is hilarious. So yeah,
Yeah. You know he was Canadian, right? It's like it's such a great thing.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
He was awesome up until his very last breath, and he still is hanging around.
Well, he's definitely in spirits in a lot of
Yeah,
us.
I think that's the truth. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording real quick. How do I do that? Do that over here. Yes, this one.